lifestyle I'm living is kind of similar to the powers of Nightcrawler. But anyways, I'll probably circle back around to that. So I posted a post about Kobe Bryant, right? About how he didn't care if his team was hating on him, you know, because that's what happens when you're great. You know, even like it be your own people. It really do be your own people that sit up and like start hating on you. You know, once they realize that, you know, any aid they give you can make you greater, even greater than them. Right? So you can't really, you know, it's like you gotta have thick skin in the game. And well, not in life in general. You know, like I'm typically an elephant in the room, you know, it's whatever. I'm used to it now. Like I've never been the type of person to look for attention. It's just like whether I had a situation going on or not, I always had the attention. All I had to do was walk in the room. Like I've always had a commanding presence for whatever reason. You know, I guess it's the constant work that I'm doing on myself day in, day out. The more I heal, it seems like the more attention I get, you know, and the more love I start getting. You know, but there's also someone who's, you know, who tries to, you know, hate on it and tries to get people to come with them, and not knowing that I've never known a fair fight, man. I've never known like the circumstances not being stacked against me, and that's like most of the collective, and they grossly underestimate us, you know, and it frustrates the shit out of them that, you know, a lot of us haven't been like completely taken off our mark by now, because it's just like what would completely and absolutely just destroy them, they'll do it to, like I've said before, what would destroy your enemies, you gotta pay attention, because they'll do that shit to you. Like we aren't here to destroy, we're here to create, recreate. If something gets destroyed in the process, we just rebuild over it, and or revitalize, or what's it called? Revitalize it, I guess, re-energize it, whichever. You know, breathe life back into things, and they are there to destroy, because that's all they know, because they know destruction is all they know. So of course they would know how to destroy themselves, so they do it to you. And that's I don't know if that's, I've never read the book The Art of War. I've been planning on getting around to it on online or something, or buying the book. I'm not really sure how I want to go about that yet. But they literally tell you what would just ruin their life, or just ruin their self-esteem, their ego, whichever. Just have them in the mind state that they want you in, by how they move about doing it to you. The aspects of your life that they attack are the aspects that they are most guilty. They're more guilty than you in, and they want to, you know, once they get it broadcast and they thinking it'll embarrass you, it'll make us be quiet or whatever, when in reality all we're doing is moving with the ebb and flow of life, right? Well, that's what the collective's doing. We're working on ourselves inevitably, like whether they're online making, and we're not checking for them, but the part of the karma is that they're always checking for us. You know, like we're just like healing, working on ourselves, and getting ourselves ready for whatever times are coming up, whatever trials, you know, making sure we're prepared for whatever trials and tribulations, you know, whether we have to band together with another member of the collective, use a karmic as a stepping stool, or, you know, what have you. Recognize when there is a lesson and learning that lesson, and then in turn growing and elevating from that lesson and reinforcing ourselves, because iron sharpens iron, which is why this path is so mostly solo dolo, because it's just like iron is rare in human form. You know, it's not many people that are iron, and you can't use pillows to sharpen iron, because pillows can't even soften iron. And these people are out here really pillow fighting. Now there's people pillow talking about us. There's people literally fighting each other about us, you know, because they know banding together didn't work, clearly. And, you know, we just poof off the scene, and they're like behind the scenes making all kinds of like allegations and all kinds of assumptions on what, you know, what's going on in our energy, and, you know, even some of it even doing divination spying, like, while us, we're just like, you know, if we're like doing things like paying for readers, we're spying on our own energy and seeing where we need to heal, you know, paid for like one reading, I think, in my life, maybe two. No, I'll say three. I'll say three to be fair, because I did go get one from in a different state. And it's just like, I just wanted to read on myself, just like to see how I'm appearing. Hopefully the readers are good readers on a spiritual level. So if if I need a reader to read me for filth, I go ahead and accept that. Like, I'll tell them, like, if you gotta read me for filth, I want a true to life reading on myself. If you gotta read me for filth, then and if that's what it is, then do that. I don't mind, because I'm like, I don't mind improvement, I don't mind correction, I don't mind constructive criticism. I actually love constructive criticism from people who are on the up and up and I have nothing but my best intentions and on a path to straight up just destroy me. And even then, I'll take bits and pieces from someone completely trying to destroy me. It's like, hey, that person might actually be right, and I'll make this adjustment about myself. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be the best version of me that I can be. I'm trying to be the best ancestor that I can be. Because most of us are living ancestors. It's not like in the world the energy is changing, and there's not gonna, it's coming to a point where these systems that these people set up, these demons basically set up to keep us trapped in bondage financially, are about to be non-existent and non-consequential to us, but only consequential to them, because they're the ones on top, right, making fun of us, right? But the thing is like what I see, because I have been getting visions now. That I guess that's something new I acquired in Ascension, because I hadn't gotten visions before, and it's like it was stifling because it was like it's so vivid, and I had to step back. I'm like, that's not. Is that what it is? I'm like, I think that's what it is. It's like somebody will say something, and I'll like get a vision of what's like their karma, basically. Like they'll say something slick, or they'll and I'll get a vision about it. And it's weird because I'm like, well, I'm only getting vision of people's karma. It must be the dark work, but I've been doing light work too. So it's kind of confusing. I guess you don't need a vision when nothing but good is coming for you, right? But what I see happening is that the power structure is going to fail in a way that is going to be a transfer of wealth. These people are going to be hurt, and they're going to be mad, and there's already been some clear indicators that they are already failing when they wanted to they wanted to create thought crimes. They wanted to create technology to read people's thoughts, like they're psychics, so they could pretend to be psychic or some shit. It's weird, and and that's why they want to microchip us, to try to deactivate us, to get us to shut up. And we say something and they're repeating it and screaming about it, because it's weird how me and my personal experience, everywhere I go, there's somebody talking about, talking over me about something I said online, or something I said, just in general, or or they're screaming about it. Hit dogs are hollering, they are hollering, basset howling. You don't double down on somebody who's supposedly supposed to be on the downfall, right? You don't double down on that shit. They're using their little resources or whatever to try to silence us, and it's not fucking working. It's just like, because these are very ignorant people when it comes to what's natural to this earth, this planet, this realm. They're very ignorant people, and that's why they use shame and embarrassment so much, because shame and embarrassment are only tools to tools used in the way of ignorance. Tools of ignorance, basically, because it's like there's nothing really to be ashamed. Like, if it exists, the only thing to be ashamed of is the shit they're doing. It's like sitting there watching somebody's life, trying to stifle their life because they're speaking certain things, and it's just like, and then they'll use someone else who did it on a larger scale, right? Like a president or something like that as a scapegoat, and it's just like, but you still did it. You use your own free will to still do it. You could have fought against it. Sure, there's consequences, but it's pay now or pay later. It's like working out. You're paying now. Like, you're tearing your muscles up now so they can heal later, and you become stronger later. It gets greater later, right? So they chose to be happy now and pay later, but they didn't know they'd be paying later. That's the thing. They are very self-deluded people where they think they wouldn't have to pay later. I've never done anything, and not good or bad, everything has a consequence. I've always known that. I teach that. I tell that to anybody I come across, or I would. You know, everything comes with a consequence. It's a consequence now or a consequence later. We chose the consequences of now. You know, so they got us all through our first 40 years or however many years of our life, right? However many years they could get us, right? And now, in their old ages, they will be suffering. You can't even retire in this country anymore. You know, anybody's gotten in bed with America is or will be suffering. I just wanted to throw that out there. They will be, like, it's because those are contracts signed in the blood of our ancestors. You know, all those people in the burial grounds, all those ancestors in the burial grounds, that's their blood, and the countries are built on their bodies, right? They're skeletons. You don't really see skeletons decaying like that, right? So so all these natural disasters still aren't over. You know, they're just like, it's kind of like a psych moment, like, psych, you know, you thought it was over. It's just like, but the whole structure is about to be ruined, devastated. That's what I see. That's what I feel. And the transfer of wealth is going to happen soon enough. It's a new world. It's not going to be a world of crime. And as a matter of fact, like, all these people who sat behind these desks and wrote out these, you know, had people sign these contracts that they didn't know what they were getting themselves into, being all deceptive and whatnot, these line item vetoes, if they didn't make it right, or at least try to, they're on the wrong side of history. I'll tell you that much. It's because it's wild how, like, in a state of California, right, you can make like $1,400 a week and only $1,500 a week and only come home with, you know, $1,000 a week. It's just, that's weird to me. Like, how does that work? You know, that's some weird taxing, single or not. It's just like, how am I not getting $500 of my hard-earned money? So, you know, and whatever you may make, they're taking a big, huge chunk out of it. And I do want to give a shout out to most of the some of the police officers. I don't know if it's most or some. The ones who are on the up and up, the ones who are on the right side of justice, the ones who are out there knowing that, you know, there are dirty cops, but choosing not to be one of those dirty cops, you know, on some training day type stuff. Even if you had to get your hands dirty at some point, you know, to get yourself out of a situation, to save yourself in a situation. I still thank you for staying on the right side of justice. I mean, whether it means anything to you or not, because y'all are truly the balance of heaven and hell on earth. Like, is it because you imagine some of these criminals, like that lady let free, you know, on the streets, and, you know, could you imagine if they were just like, all of them were roaming free, right? Like, that has to be hell on earth to know that you have no line between heaven and hell. Of course, maybe it did line in the pockets of some legal authorities, right? And you know, that's a thank you to the judges, the feds, the CIA, whoever is in a position of authority and has done the right things. Just thank you. You know, like, at the end of the day, even if you got caught up in a situation unbeknownst to you and just found yourself in a shitty situation, had to do some dirt to get out, I would say, definitely use your discernment, because, you know, the whole thing is like, they're also, you know, earth angels and stuff in those systems. It's just like, they have to use their discernment to determine, you